So although we chant Krishna's name, and there are a lot of glories which is being talked about Krishna, that Krishna is supreme name, and when we chant Krishna's name, our tear will flow from our eyes, our hair will stand on the end, it will be like a fire of bhakti which will burn away all my pap karma. I will be able to experience love of Krishna. There are many things which is being talked about chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But why are we not experiencing that? Why are we not experiencing the taste which is being given in the Vedic literatures about chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? The reason is still in our mind, back of the mind, we do not have proper understanding about name of Krishna. We still think that the name of Krishna is like an ordinary sound. And because it is an ordinary sound, I may hear it or I may not hear it. Doesn't matter. So unless I have proper understanding about sound of Krishna, sound of the Krishna's name, and I know that Krishna's name and Krishna, they are non-different, they both are same, till that point of time we will not be able to take the maximum benefit of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we want to expedite the process, if we want to expedite the acceleration of our purification of our consciousness, if we want to experience the highest pleasure of serving Krishna's name and be immersed in the love of Krishna, it will not happen unless and until we understand the nature of Krishna's name and we try to give same respect to Krishna's name as we give to Krishna himself. Because that is what it is said in this verse. If you think Krishna to be an ordinary person, then it is an offense. Similarly, there are 10 offenses which are mentioned in the Padma Puran about chanting Krishna's name. And the first offense in chanting Krishna's name is, I think this is third offense, that to consider the name of Krishna to be equal to the names of demigods. Means to not have proper understanding that Krishna name and Krishna, they are non-different. But the question can be, how can a sound can be God? Because if I have to really chant wholeheartedly, then I have to understand that Krishna's name and Krishna, they are not different. And the way you see the deities in the temple, similarly, similar kind of feeling we should have towards Krishna's name also. So it's very easy for us to worship Krishna's form with full heart and to be very attentive to that worship, because there is a form, there's a specific features of the Lord in a deity form which you can relate with. So it's much more grosser and you can easily relate and you can easily bring out those feelings in the heart and to be able to relate with deities of Krishna. But do we have similar kind of feelings when we chant Krishna's name also? No, we don't have that. You would see when you chant Krishna's name and when you go in front of deities, for you experientially they both are different things. Because for you deities is more relatable than the sound of Krishna's name. But Shastra says they both are same. Krishna's form and Krishna's name, they both are same. So why are we not able to experience same kind of feelings toward when we chant Krishna's name when we go in front of deities of Krishna? Or why our feelings doesn't come out of us, comes out of our heart, same kind of feeling when it comes out for deities and not for the chanting holy name of Krishna? Isn't it a very interesting point? And why does this happens? Why are we not able to relate with Krishna's name as we can relate with Krishna's deity, even though we are advancing in Krishna consciousness? The reason is we have not understood that how the name of Krishna how the sound Krishna can be God. So I will discuss few examples for you to give you the idea that how it can be. The first example can be of the paper, $100 bills. Let's say I have $100 notes. So if I give you that $100 note and I give you same size paper, will they have same value? I will give you $100 note and I will give you same size paper. Are their values same? No, they both are different values. If I give you 100 paper note, which is not $100 note, I give you 100 paper of same size and shape of the $100 bill, still it will not be even the 100th value of the $100 note. The reason is it is been authorized by the government. It is been printed by government. There is a stamp of government in that. Ultimately, it's all paper. But just because of the authorization of government, a simple paper can become $100 note and it can gain that value. That is one example. So when we say ordinary sound and the sound of Krishna's name, although it may appear to be same, but the value of Krishna's name is in this example is like a $100 note. And the ordinary sound is like a paper note, like a paper, not a note. So are you getting this point? So in this way, when we chant Krishna's name, because it is authorized by Krishna, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. I have invested all my energies in my name. Krishna is saying that. It is authorized. And Nama Nami Abhinatva. There is no difference between my name and myself. Kali Kale Nam Rupa Krishna Avatar. Krishna is authorizing. I will take incarnation in the form of my holy name. So if Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Vedic literatures are saying that this sound is authorized, then there should be no doubt in our mind. When we chant Krishna's name, we should know that it is as good as Krishna. It is Krishna. Krishna's energies and Krishna both are present in the form of holy name. So my mind should not come into the picture. How it can be not. No, it is authorized. Like a note is authorized by the government, a simple paper note can become $100 value, can gain $100 value. Similarly, this sound what we utter has gained that immense value because of authorization by Krishna. That is one point. So this is Srila Prabhupada quote which goes like that. Prabhupada says in New York, 25th of March, he says, God's reflection and God, there is no difference. God's bodily rays and God, there is no difference. Advai Jnana. That they are not in duality or relative world, they are in the absolute world. So Prabhupada is saying that Krishna and Krishna's reflection, Krishna's and Krishna's bodily rays, there is no difference. So similarly, Krishna and Krishna's name, there is no difference. There is another quote which is given in the second canto Bhagavatam purport. Very interesting quote. Let me read it now. Quote. There is a gulf of difference between the two qualities of sound. So Prabhupada is saying there is a gulf of difference between two qualities of sound. Namely Prakrata and Aprakata. Prakata means the sound which is easily perceivable, Prakata sound, Prakat, and Aprakata sound. The physicist can deal only with the Prakata sound, the sound vibration in the material sky. And therefore, we must know that Vedic sounds recorded in the symbolic expression cannot be understood by anyone in the universe unless and until it is inspired by the vibration of supernatural sound. Very important point. So, let me repeat it. We must know that Vedic sound recorded in symbolic expression, those symbols, cannot be understood by anyone in the universe unless and until one is inspired by the vibration of Aprakata sound. So means there are two things. The word which you are seeing here, they are symbolic expression of the sound. There are many devotees who assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness. They are expression. But in that expression, there is a supernatural sound hidden. Because it is coming from Srila Prabhupada's lotus mouth. So this expression has a power in itself. When we chant these statements, then it has energies in that. When we chant these sounds, it has energy in them, and those vibrations can inspire the meaning of that statement in our heart. So the expression is different, and the energy in the expression is different. Similarly, the expression may be look like ordinary expression, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. But there is a energy within that sound, which is known as which makes that sound is upperkata sound, which cannot be heard by our ears unless it is inspired by the vibration of supernatural sound. So in that sense, it becomes a supernatural sound. Natural sound, ordinary sound, and supernatural sound. So means sound which is coming from Krishna, Krishna's name. And then the second example, what I can share with you is the example between electric wire which is dead or live. So now the question can be, both the sounds look same. How can we perceive they are different? How do we know that they are different sounds? So now the example can be, you have one wire. In that wire you have red wire and you have green wire, or let's say you have blue wire, whatever. So one is live wire in which current is flowing, and there is one is dead wire in which current is not flowing. So apparently they may look same, but when you touch dead wire nothing happens, but when you touch live wire you get electrified. Although externally both the wires look same, but when you touch dead wire nothing happens, and you touch the live wire you get electrified. Isn't it very interesting concept? The energy is flowing through the live wire, cannot be seen, but can be experienced when we touch it. Right? So the sound which we ordinarily chant, that is the prakata sound, the sound which is ordinary sound of this material world, they're like a dead wire. It is like wire, it is like a sound, but it does not have that energy. But when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, energy is flowing through that. So when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we touch Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then our consciousness changes. So how do we touch the dead wire or the live wire? By giving attention to that, by hearing that, right? So when we hear the ordinary sound, when we put our consciousness into the dead sound, nothing will happen. But when you touch Hare Krishna Mahamantra sound with the help of your hearing to your consciousness, then consciousness will get electrified. The energy, the spiritual energy from the sound will come, will touch your consciousness, and your consciousness will get electrified, means it will get spiritualized. Your consciousness will get spiritualized. Like by touching the live wire, my hand will get electrified. Similarly, when my consciousness touches the live sound, the living sound, my consciousness will get spiritualized. Isn't it a very big revelation, this concept? That when we touch Krishna's name, our consciousness get purified, our consciousness get spiritualized. One of the very beautiful discovery you can have. I'm just sharing 2-3 points, I'm just repeating them so that it just sinks in more deeply in us. One more example what we can discuss is we can discuss the example of the post office. Srila Prabhupada gives that example. So, for an example, if you, let's say you have to go to USPS and it's snowing, it's raining, it's like 50 miles from your place. But let's say like India, we used to have the post boxes, right? So general post box, when we put something into the post box, and that post box is been authorized by post office, then you will know, although you cannot go directly to the post office because of some limitation, simply by putting the letter into the post box, you know that will reach its destination, because again it is authorized by the post office. Similarly, those post box becomes the representative of the post office. Anything which you give to the post box will reach to the post office. Right? Similarly, so now the concept is, what if we want to give the devotion to Krishna, if we want to give something to Krishna, and we are separated by distance, although we are not, in our consciousness we are separated. So how can we give something to Krishna so that it reaches to Krishna? So let's say I cannot reach out to the USPS, but I want to give something to the post office. So how can we give something to the post office without going to the post office? By giving it to the post box, isn't it? Similarly, how we can give the feelings to Krishna which we want to express to him by, and we are not able to go to Krishna, is that by giving all our feelings to Krishna's name. When we give our feelings to Krishna's name, you should know it is reaching to Krishna because it is authorized by Krishna. 2 point. So 3 point basically. The sound is authorized by Krishna, that's why it has power, it is not an ordinary sound. Second thing is like a electrification. When we touch, my consciousness gets spiritualized. And third thing is I can deliver everything to Krishna by delivering it to holy name of Krishna. Let's say you want to speak something to Krishna. If you have similar kind of feelings when you're chanting Krishna's name, you have that helplessness, you have that kind of feelings, you want to speak something to Krishna, when you hear Krishna's name is hearing your heart. Even though you may not be able to speak, because Krishna understands heart's language. There is nobody in this world who will understand your heart language. Only Krishna, when the holy name of Krishna touches our heart, Krishna, although we may not be able to express, but Krishna will know what we are going through. Krishna will know what we are experiencing. Krishna will know what do we need at that point of time. Isn't it a very magical thing? Mystical thing? That simply by hearing Krishna's name with our heart, we can express our feeling to Krishna, and you would know that how, when you chant properly, when you have heard heartfully, you would know the solution of that problem will come to you immediately. And that can be experienced immediately when you feel lightness in the heart. When you chant Krishna's name in that helplessness, you will feel lightness in the heart. It means Krishna has heard your voice and Krishna has removed that burden from your heart, and Krishna will give you the solution. These 3 points are very important. The first point is the example of a paper knot. Second thing is like a live wire. It is a powerful sound, is a supernatural sound, is a living sound. And third thing is we can express all our emotions to Krishna by expressing that to Krishna's name. Like a post box and a post office. So these 3 examples are the most important thing. And once we understand these 3 examples, we will know that when we are chanting Krishna's name, it is not an ordinary thing. I am dealing with Krishna now. So if I am dealing with Krishna, it's like your appointment with Krishna. Sometimes devotees have struggled chanting Krishna's name because they feel they don't have time. So you should know that when you're chanting Krishna's name, you have fixed certain number of rounds, let's say 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 16 rounds, let's say 2 hours in a day, 1 hour in a day. You have fixed your appointment with Krishna. Like if you fix an appointment with Prime Minister Modi, will you forget that appointment? Oh, I forgot to meet Prime Minister Modi. I fixed an appointment that I got after years of struggle, but I missed it because I forgot it. Would you do like this? Would you forget appointment which you have fixed with the Prime Minister Modi? No, because you know how much valuable that is. So if you take that 1 hour of time that you have appointment with Krishna every day, and in that appointment Krishna is going to hear your heart, and Krishna is going to give you solution of all for the next 23 hours. So when we chant, when we are very attentive, when we are given appointment to Krishna, when we follow those protocols, what is to be followed when we are associating with a very highly elevated personality even in this world, then you would know if you have properly conveyed your message, you will get a solution. So in that sense, whatever problems, whatever challenges, whatever difficulties which we may potentially face in the next 22 hours, or which you might have faced in the previous 22 hours, the solution for that will be coming in the next 2 hour appointment which you have with Krishna. 2 hours for somebody, 1 hour for somebody, half an hour, whatever it is. So you should take that time, everyday time, as an fixed appointment with Krishna. You can even make a Google calendar. Okay, appointment with Krishna for this time to this time. Cannot miss it. If somebody comes and you can say I have appointment with a very important person. You're stuck somewhere. You're in a meeting or you are stuck, somebody wants to talk to you. I will talk to you later because I have now appointment with the most important person. Very, very, very important person. Isn't it? Isn't it? This idea is very, very kind of powerful to makes us stick to our rounds, make us stick to our chanting. I have appointment with Krishna, who is a very, 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 very important person. And he is going to give me the solution of whatever challenges I may be facing. So that's how we conclude this, that every day we should fix our appointment with Krishna at a specific time. You can decide that time, and Krishna is very flexible in that way. Krishna is saying, okay, no problem. Sometime I can meet in the evening, sometime I can meet in the morning, sometime I can meet in the afternoon. Based upon your availability, I'll meet you. Such a nice person, right? If let's say there was a restrictions, you can chant only in the morning. So Krishna is very strict. You can meet me only in the morning. But Krishna is so flexible. You can meet me anytime. I can meet in the morning, I can meet in the afternoon, I can meet in the evening, I can meet anytime. Nam Akari Baudan Tatrarpita Nanyamita Nasmarane na Kala. There is no niyama, there is no kala for that. So if Krishna is ready to give us appointment at any point of time, we should respect him at least. If we don't respect him, then he will not respect. Then we cannot expect that Krishna will give us what we want, the knowledge what we want, the guidance what we want. It's very reciprocal. It's very relationship based now. So how you behave with Krishna's name, the same way he will behave with you. So it's up to us how much we want to surrender to Krishna's name by respecting the time he is giving to us, and by giving out our heart, and by speaking to him, by heartfully chanting and carefully hearing. We'll conclude here.